This video is about CELPIP reading. Do you know why smart students choose the wrong answer? Let me reveal the hidden trap architecture behind every CELPIP reading question. Have you ever finished a CELPIP reading section feeling completely confident, only to discover that most of your answers were wrong? Then this lesson is for you. Today, I'm not going to teach you another reading strategy. I'm not going to tell you to skim. I'm not going to tell you to scan. I'm not going to tell you to underline keywords. You have already heard all of that. Instead, I'm going to show you something almost nobody talks about, how self-help actually builds wrong answers. Because here's the truth. Most candidates don't lose marks because they don't understand English. They lose marks because they don't understand the psychology of the test writers. Imagine you're playing chess. You don't win because you're smarter than the other player. You win because you can predict their next move. Self-help works exactly the same way. Every wrong option has a purpose. Every distractor is carefully designed. So today I'll teach you how to expose those traps before they trap you. We will work through exam style examples, passages, and we will analyze every option. And by the end of this lesson, you will start reading like an examiner, not like a student. So let's begin. Most students think there are four options. Actually, there is usually one real answer. The other three are different types of traps. I call this the trap architecture. Almost every self-help reading question contains one or more of these four traps. Trap number one, the mirror trap. Trap number two, the half-truth trap. Trap number three, the extreme trap. And the trap number four is the emotional trap. Let's understand each one. So I request you to take a notepad and a pen. Kindly make a note of it because these are the traps that nobody will explain you. Okay, so let's first get into the mirror trap. The mirror trap copies words directly from the passage. Students see identical vocabulary and immediately they choose it. But self-help does not test memory, it tests understanding. Let's try one. Here is an example. Okay, if you want, you can just pause the video and you can read it, and then we will move on to the question. Let me read it for you. The Brookdale City Council recently approved a 5-year urban renewal project aimed at improving the quality of life in the downtown area. One of the most debated decisions involves converting three large public parking lots into green community parks with walking paths, outdoor seating, and children's play areas. While many residents welcomed the proposal, several business owners expressed concerns that reducing parking spaces might discourage shoppers from visiting local stores. To better understand the possible impact, the council reviewed reports from four neighboring cities that had introduced similar redevelopment projects over the past decade. Interestingly, each report showed that although parking capacity had decreased slightly, pedestrian activity increased significantly. Visitors tended to spend more time walking around local businesses, visiting cafes, and attending outdoor events. As a result, average retail sales increased between 12 and 18% within 3 years. Urban planners also argue that green spaces encourage healthier lifestyles, improve air quality, and create opportunities for community events. However, the council acknowledged that construction would temporarily inconvenience both drivers and nearby businesses. To minimize disruption, the redevelopment will be completed in stages with temporary parking facilities available throughout the project. Although opinions remain divided, the Council believes that the long term economic and social benefits of creating a more pedestrian friendly environment outweigh the short term challenges associated with reducing parking availability. So, this is the passage. Let's move on to the question. The first one is, why did the city council decide to replace some parking lots with public parks? And the options are to permanently reduce the number of vehicles entering city center, to create a more pedestrian friendly environment that could benefit both residents and local businesses, because neighboring cities no longer provide public parking facilities. And the last one is to encourage residents to stop driving altogether. Now, just pause the video. What did you choose? Many students immediately select option A because the passage repeatedly mentions reducing parking spaces. That's the mirror trap. The passage never says reducing parking is the goal. It's simply one step in a much larger redevelopment project. Got it? So the actual purpose appears in several different places throughout the passage: improving quality of life, increasing pedestrian activity, supporting local businesses, and creating healthier public spaces. So these ideas combine to form option B. Notice what the examiner did. Instead of copying the passage, the correct answer summarizes the author's idea. The wrong answer simply repeats visible words from the passage. That's exactly how the mirror trap works. Okay, now let's move on to another trap, the half truth trap. This one is brilliant. Part of the answer is correct, another part quietly becomes false. Students stop checking after the first half. Let's see. Okay, here is a small passage. Scientists observe that students who slept at least 8 hours before an examination generally performed better. However, the researchers also noted the quality of study remained the strongest predictor of success. Okay, it's just a simple short passage I have given. And the question here is, according to the passage, sleep alone guarantees better scores. Studying well remains more important than sleep. Students should stop studying and sleep instead. 8 hours of sleep is unnecessary. So, what is the right option? First, let's examine option A. First half, sleep helps. Correct. Second half, guarantees success. False. That's the half truth trap. One true sentence, one dangerous addition. Always verify every word. Okay, so the right option is option B. Studying well remains more important than sleep. Got it? Now let's move on to the next trap, the extreme trap. CELPIP loves extreme words. Always, never, everyone, nobody, completely, entirely, unless the passage is equally extreme. The option is usually wrong. Example, let's look at this passage. Many office workers reported feeling more productive after switching to flexible working hours. Some employees, however, preferred fixed schedules. So, this is the passage. Let's move on to the question here. Which statement is supported? Option A, flexible hours improve productivity for everyone. Option B, some workers still prefer traditional schedules. Option C, flexible schedules always increase happiness. Option D, nobody likes fixed working hours. Can you find the difference? The passage says some. The wrong answer says everyone, always, nobody. The exam quietly changes one word, right? That one word destroys the answer. Got it? So the right option here is option B. Some workers still prefer traditional schedules because in other options you can see the extreme traps. Everyone, always, nobody. Got it? So please be aware of this. And let's move on to the last trap, the emotional trap. Students often choose answers they personally agree with, not answers supported by evidence. The exam doesn't care about your opinion, it only cares about the author's opinion. Okay, let's go through the passage. Although electric vehicles reduce emissions during use, manufacturing batteries currently requires significant energy and resources. And the question here is, which statement best reflects the author's opinion? Electric vehicles have both advantages and challenges. Electric vehicles should replace all petrol cars immediately. Battery factories should be closed. Petrol cars are environmentally friendly. Out of these four options, which one you choose? Many of you emotionally choose B because you support environmental protection. But the passage never says that. The correct option is A. Electric vehicles have both advantages and challenges. So read with your brain, not your beliefs. Okay? Remember, self-pip reading isn't really testing reading. It's testing the decision making. The strongest candidates aren't the fastest readers, they are the best detectives. So, from today onwards, don't hunt for the correct answer, just hunt for the trap. Once you find the trap, the correct answer usually reveals itself. And that's exactly how high scorers think. If this lesson changed the way you look at self help reading, let me know in the comments which trap has fooled you the most: mirror trap, half truth trap, extreme trap, or emotional trap. So that's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more self help tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.